All right. I think we're live. Yep. Thing says we're live. How's everybody doing tonight? It's going to be a solo. You just got me tonight. Brother Cash he's off doing other things. Uh, last I heard, he was just leaving the attorney's office, so I don't think he's going to make it in here tonight. Uh, consulting with a defense attorney. Boy, them breakfast foods companies just don't play, do they? Uh, how's everybody doing tonight? Just thought I'd come in. Uh, is it my last live stream? I don't know. I'm about to do something incredibly stupid again. So, maybe you guys, you know, wanna pay money to see me do it. I don't know. Gonna do this Make a Wish polar plunge again this year for the Make a Wish Wisconsin for the kids. It's coming up on Saturday, and did it last year. It was 7 below zero, and a bunch of us dummies uh, got out in the cold and jumped in a frozen pool. Oof, that was the first time I ever did it. I tell you what, uh, wake your ass up is an understatement. um, yeah, and then I proceeded to have pneumonia for about 3 months after that. But we're gonna do it again this year. It's supposed to be 20 degrees this year instead of -7, but it's snowing. Man, it is snowing like crazy right now. It's supposed to be snowing on Saturday, so we'll see. Gonna do it again this year. If anybody's considering making any charitable donations this year, consider this one. Um, raising sponsors here or getting sponsorships here. Anything that anybody donates, I'm gonna match it. So if you care to donate, cash app it. Cash at me at $DIY semi, or you could any super chats. I'll make up the difference of whatever YouTube takes. But yeah, I'm gonna we're gonna match it again this year. Last year we raised $5,600. We had the largest Make a Wish fundraiser in the state of Wisconsin has ever had, in a little town of about 400 people. So it was awesome. It was great. Do it a good time, or do it again. It was a good time. But how's everybody doing tonight? Let's see who's in here already. Right off the bat, Gary Bates. Give me all your money. Gary, I ain't got all that money to give you. We're trying to give it to the kids, make their wish come true. Oh, and 2 local kids got their wish out of that, so that was pretty awesome. um, Gary says, "I got a hard thug limp. Give me all your money." Oh, Gary's getting all gangster on us right away. Says, "Real talk, yeah." Mark M says, "Gary, you forgot your meds." I'm thinking he did. Mark says, "You got live streaming in your blood, man. This can't be your last. Maybe it's better to slow down and do one every other month. Collect questions and comments from your videos so you have a reason to talk." I don't know. We'll see if I'm around to do another one. You know what? A guy of my advanced age and size, uh, you would think that would be a heart-stopping event to go and jump in some frozen water, but we're gonna do it anyway. What else I got? You got to live a little bit, right? Mark says, "I'm busy tonight. Join the live. You're captain of your own destiny. Keep her moving." All right. David Edwards in the house. El Guapo, channel member. Thanks. Which comes to find out means the handsome one in Spanish, right? Grafton in the house. Thanks for coming in. Shannon Thomas. Good evening, everyone from Indiana. Ooh, I think the weather is a lot better in Indiana than it is here. We're supposed to get 6 inches of snow overnight. I left the house to run to town for about an hour and a half. It came back. We got 5 inches while I was gone, and it's still snowing. So we're gonna get way more than that. Danny Watucky says, "Hello, everyone from Emporia, Virginia." I do not know where that is. I know Emporia, Kansas. Mark M's here for the start. Cool, cool. Killian's Trucking in the house. Thanks for coming in. Oh, right away, David Edwards. Appreciate the Cash App, David Edwards. Appreciate it. I'm going to match that. Definitely going to match that. CJ Hudson in the house. What's going on, everyone? Not much. Not much. My name is Nobody. Cool. Thanks for coming in. Gary Bates is on his own fundraiser, trying to buy people's souls. Apparently, yeah, mine's not for sale. This Trucking Life. Thanks for coming in, David Edwards. Says, "Evening, bub. Hope you're well." Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. I just got back from a 9-day run trucking. So got to get my feet wet doing that again, and hopefully we're home for a while. Supposed to have two new drivers starting here. Probably in the next 2 weeks, I would say. One of them don't have really have a date on yet. The other one's the 22nd or so. So trying to get trucks ready, equipment situated to make that a smoother transition. We guys going to be trading in the gray Mac for a Cascadia for somebody else to drive because I don't need three trucks sitting here for me to drive, and haven't had anyone apply that can drive a manual. So everybody seems to have an automatic restriction, but I guess that's what they're giving out in the schools. So why have three manuals sitting here that nobody can drive but me? So we're gonna trade that one in to lessen the blow of getting that Cascadia and put her to work. Well, what else we got here? Oh, this truck and life, $25 for the Make a Wish. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'll definitely match that. Uh, anyway, so yeah, got a lot going on. Um, trying to get caught up from being gone. Got a lot of work on stuff to do. Got supposed to have two newer trailers coming here in the next couple weeks, so hopefully they kick her in the butt a little and deliver on that promise. D Compton in the house. Good evening. Thanks for coming in, buddy. No Jackknife TVs come in to say hi. Appreciate it. Jamie O says thank you for helping the driver in Massachusetts. Yeah, that was pretty cool. He was pretty happy about that. He was pretty happy. I think he was in a bad way. I don't think he had money to call a service truck. So at least we got his truck started so he could make it home to South Carolina, North Carolina. I think it was South Carolina. Um, because it wouldn't start since the day before, so he went and stayed in the hotel next door because I think it was too cold for him. I slept in my truck with it off, but I'm used to that. He's a Southern boy, and he come back, started messing with it, like looking with a real sad look on his face. So yeah, we were able to get that going. Oh, Kevin with a $20 cash app. Thank you, sir, for the Make a Wish kids. Yeah, definitely. If you do that, everybody, print out the receipt and use it for a charitable donation. That's a 501c3 organization. So yeah. Jerome Jones says, Shannon, I'm in Indiana too. Okay. Paul Harris says, are you in the official congressional chat room? Yeah, this is where all the political action happens, right in here. It's where all the deals are struck. CJ Hudson says, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Good luck to you, sir. Oh, am I insane? Might be. You know, I'm getting to be pretty soft in my old age, actually. Uh, just recently come to find out I actually have feelings again. Weird. And kind of got a soft spot for the kids. I don't know. It's doing something to make a kid happy, especially a sick kid, man. And I don't know if you ever been around a kid that's like really sick, like with leukemia or something, man. But it's hard to look. If that don't freaking tug on your heartstrings a little bit, you're dead inside, man. Nothing will. So I don't mind doing that if it helps somebody like that out. CJ, it's 100% right. Yep, yep. Stuart in the house, the hobby trucker said, "What's up? Thanks for coming in, man." I started to watch your video from earlier today. Made it about 45 seconds in, and my phone rang. So try and get back to that and finish that up. Everybody, check out Stuart the hobby trucker. Makes some good videos. Uh, David Edwards, hit your cash app. Yeah, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I'll go through later and give everybody a thumbs up and a heart emoji. How about that? This truck and life, just raining here. I came from St. Paul and missed the snow. It's about to snow. It's snowing. It's a pretty good sized storm moving through like Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Northern Illinois. Come on when it says, hello, Newman. Well, hello, Mr. Beasley. Killian's Trucking says, got to pick up in Russell, Wisconsin tomorrow at noon. Oof. Ooh, I'm from here and I don't know where that is. Let me hit the Google Maps for a second. I've never heard of that town and I live here. Are you kidding me? That is as far, just about as far north in Wisconsin as you can get, up by Bayfield. What in the heck are you going up there for? Well, good luck. Have fun up there. AR says heading down 95 back home to Raleigh. Okay. Oliver 880 says I need a GoFundMe. What are we raising money for there, Oliver 880? What you need a GoFundMe for? Reefer 77. Good evening, my friends. Thanks for coming in. You're finally done driving for a while. Yep. Um, we'll see. I might have to go out Wednesday again because I might have overbooked. Oh, with both feet with a $50 cash app. Appreciate it. Says please don't die this time. Thank you, sir. Definitely match that. Um, you're awesome. The Struggling Life. My boss has one manual left, which is mine. Okay, it's a good fallback to have. If you can get that where you don't have to have an automatic restriction, it's a good fallback. Then you can drive anything. How many miles on the Cascadia? The one I'm buying has just over 400,000. It's like four. Oh boy, now you're putting me to test. I don't know, 410, something like that. It's a 2018. So yeah, it's in really good shape. Really like it. Prices have come down a lot. I still think they could come down more. Obviously, we all want lower prices on stuff, but uh, it's about $30,000 cheaper than it would have been 3 months ago, right around there, 4 months ago. Um, Starting school April 3rd. So excited! Oh, cool! Driving school. That's awesome. That 12-speed auto is sweet. It is. It is. Never thought I'd like one, but it's all right. The only time I was in Minnesota delivering the freight, I don't know, 2 months ago, middle of a blizzard. I was at this distribution center, and the snow was probably 6 inches deep in the parking lot, and I was the only one not stuck because I had a manual and could just keep rocking back and forth, and they're just sitting there burning them up. So I was kind of happy at that point. I think I'll always probably have a manual for myself. I get bored. I need something to do, and I don't know. It's just what I'm used to. Jackknife TV says it's not worth having a manual transmission anymore. The new guys tear them up, and I would say about 95% of all new CDL graduates have a restriction. Yeah, yeah, but I like one for myself. I feel special. With both feet made it to my destination. Hopefully, I can make it back tomorrow. Lots of snow and wind. Yeah, the upper Midwest and the Northwest is kind of getting pounded a little bit. RBK, hello everyone. Thanks for coming in, buddy. At this rate, I'm pretty hopeful components. At this rate, I'm pretty hopefully components and clutch replacements will come down on automated manual transmissions, unless they just want to stick it to us like they do with everything else. Well, hey, why stop sticking it to us now? They got us on the run. Josh the Vegans, howdy y'all. How you doing, buddy? That's a new name. Haven't seen you in here before. David Edwards says I'm going to try in a manual. No restrictions for me. Options are good. It's always good to have options, isn't it? Deary Bates says, sorry, I'm too hurt to help the children. I just ended my adopt a median program after 7 years. Oh no. Oh, that's too bad. Sorry to hear that, man. You'll get back. You'll come back around. You'll come back around. Um, I can feel my toes. That the feeling you're speaking of? Yeah. Yeah. Enrique says, hi from Montana tonight. Ooh, I like that tractor in your avatar, sir. It's a Challenger. Nice. Marty says, do I have a dry van trailer? I do not, but I come probably July, I'm going to have one. I have a guy coming on that needs a dry van trailer for a special assignment. I need a 53-foot air ride dry van with logistics post 16 inches on center. What else? Watertight, good condition, relatively new. So I need something. I need one of those by midsummer. Which hopefully by then they'll be real cheap. I see you can get a new dry van now for $40,000. They're not funny how they can come down $60,000 in about 6 months, huh? Yeah, makes 40 seem like a bargain, doesn't it? With both feet, Killian's, what's up? Watch out for those bridges. Oh, Jerome Jones, how bad is the snowstorm heading to Dunkirk, New York tomorrow? I don't know about New York. I haven't. I haven't seen. Did I miss anything here? Did I miss something? Not yet. Okay. Marty says, did your ex-owner operators have their own trailers? Let me think for a second. No, none of those had their own trailers. Just trucks. Some came bought through. Some were bought through me. Some were they had them on their own. Dale Mandelt, is $2 a mile the new norm, Dale? I hope. And have you noticed fuel is creeping back up? I have noticed fuel is creeping back up. Absolutely. Um, but I don't want to say good news, but some of the fuel programs we're on, the higher fuel goes, the better our discounts get when there's that wider margin between wholesale and pump price. So, I mean, silver lining. I still don't want the prices higher. It's not good for anybody. But yes, we're in a tough predicament right now. If fuel went back to 5.50, $6 a gallon with these rates, and don't just go assuming that rates will go higher because of fuel. We've already proven that not to be true. We'd be in a bad position. Is $2 a mile the new norm? For a little while. We're going to live that life for a while. Um, it's the market. There's way more trucks than there is freight. We are not in a position of power in that sense as far as pricing power right now. And yeah, we're gonna have ho hum rates for probably a good while here. But we'll talk more about that. Adam Bennett in the house. Thanks, buddy. I'm drunk and broke in North Carolina at Love's. Help. Oh no. Oh no. Where's Cassius King? Please bring him. He makes me happy. I believe he's on an airplane right now. He texted me, said he would come in, but he's just headed home from vacation. So he's gonna be live tomorrow night. I'm gonna come on there and talk talk 9 miles of smack with him. Good old Saturday night. Appreciate it, Adam Bennett, for the super chats. I'm gonna make up the other half that YouTube takes on that and put that with the Make a Wish donations. I appreciate that. Jerome Jones says I got a 2015 dry van for 24 grand. Nice, nice. Yeah, I heard you bought a trailer. That's cool. Reefer 77. My company is all automatics. They're okay, but I would rather have 10-speed Road Ranger. Okay. I only have I no. I've had Eaton Fuller, and I've had Meritor. Don't know that I've ever had a Road Ranger. Don't know that I've ever seen one in a truck. I don't know. Sometimes I don't pay attention. Jackknife. Adam Bennett, you better not be at the Loves in Mebane, North Carolina. Ooh. Uh, Adam Bennett's broke in North Carolina. Can somebody stop at the Loves, get him a cup of coffee or something? Barry Harbison in the house. Good evening, gents and ladies. Thanks for coming in, Barry. Adam Bennett's in Statesville. Okay. IR says, I've been driving to Pennsylvania for the past year and I've never seen any way station open until today. 81 near Scranton, Pennsylvania likes keeping them shut. But they like to surprise you. Watch out for that nice weather. When the weather starts to turn, they like to open up them portables and snatch you in a bear trap and tear you up. Tear you up. Marty says, have you ever had a kitty cat or caterpillar? I have. The first truck I ever owned, I had a 3176 cat that was just a pile of junk. Uh, previous owner did not take care of that thing apparently, and it just pretty much went to pieces on me. I ended up just getting rid of it. And then company truck. I had a truck with a C12 cat in it. That was a replacement for the 3176. And then I owned a 6NZ C15 cat, which was awesome. Wish I still had it. Back then, I didn't really know what I had because we didn't have all this stuff now with all the problems to make you appreciate a 6NZ cat. It was just another good caterpillar. Come to find out, if you had one, really had something. I got it was a million miles when I got rid of it in like 2000. What year? 2007, I believe. So it definitely, I mean, it probably wouldn't still be around today. Um, but that was a great motor, man. You couldn't hurt it. I dropped a valve in it. When I bought it, it had a slight tick, and we weren't sure what it was. And then the tick never got any worse, but eventually it broke a valve seat. So it wasn't really a, a moving or a lubricated component. Just that valve seat cracked, and ended up doing an overhaul. So I could have got away with just doing the top end. But I'm like, well, we're in it. We're because I still had at 700 some thousand miles. I still had all the cross hatching in the cylinders. And but at that point, you're in it so far for the labor. Might as well do the bottom end too. So we did, and she ran like a champ till the day I got rid of her. The truck was just worn out. It was in a Freightliner Columbia, and that thing was just worn out. So you know, nothing nothing worse than a worn out Columbia. Let me tell you that. Uh, Dennis says, got to wait for them cheap freight haulers to go under. It's a race to the bottom. It seems like it. Oh, Adam Bennett, another $20 super chat. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it. We'll donate that too. Thank you. Um, Cents per mile in the house is in the middle of making the video on this killer week, delivering a pump to a trade show in Nashville Saturday. Cool. Yeah, we've booked a little bit better freight this week, and the volumes, at least my volumes or available volumes or whatever you want to call it, offers or freight that's been offered to me has been it's been more this year. It's been up, or not year, this week, I should say. But that was predicted. I mean, mid to late March, you got end of the quarter. We're the last month of a quarter. We are, we're not the end of the month yet, but we'll probably see a little bit of improvement here leading into end of March, and then expected to kind of get soft again. Well, have some minor ups and downs, but by no means what we would consider as a full recovery. Dennis says a 3179 was junk when new. Yeah, I I tend to believe that. I didn't really know anything about that, but it was the cheap. It was like the economy version. It was the 12 liter, um, plain Jane, and I didn't know anything about it, but I knew Caterpillars were good. This was in the this is in the 90s, I think, or what year was it? I think that truck was a 96, if I remember right. I don't remember. Oliver says, I would get rid of your glider and that long nose Freightliner and get a nice Cascadia. I thought about doing a 3-for-1 trade, like trading in 3 trucks for one, but I, mm, I'm just attached to that orange truck. I don't know why. It needs work to get it back roadworthy, but I'll have to do it. Plus, I don't need $100,000 truck to drive part time. You know what I mean? Or to go no more than a couple hundred miles. Have I ever had a feline kitty cat? I have. I've had many. Barry says cat had great reliability, but they had drinking problems. Yeah, by the time I got I had that C15 kind of not pimped out. I mean, everything inside the engine was OEM, and that thing responded very well to modifications. It did really well with the fleet air filter. I put a different turbo on it. Can't I For the life of me, I can't remember what kind of turbo I put on that. But we're talking a long time ago. Um, all your little doodads, your little gizmos, it responded very well to them. And I was consistently over 7 miles per gallon when I got rid of that thing. And boy, would that sucker pull. Oh, the free flow muffler. Um, that thing would walk up a hill, no problem. And it was, what was it, had that split horsepower. Was it 435, 470, something like that? Missed that thing. Jackknife TV says, well, at this rate, you could probably keep a kitty cat going pretty long time. Caterpillar's remanufacturing long blocks for them as long as you trade one in. Yeah, I saw that. Man, that would be the bomb right now to have. If you had one with a cat you were thinking about getting rid of, and all of a sudden you find out you can get a brand new long block. Oh man. That would be golden. Jackknife says my first truck I bought was a 1990 377 Pete. Yep, mine was a 377 Pete with a 3406 years had though. Man, if that truck just didn't just sit and rot all the rubber hoses out and everything and get rodents in it, I would be rolling coal. Yep. Insult investor in the house. Thanks for coming in. Cents per mile says we're grossing 9 grand this week. All spot market. Wisconsin, Ohio, then to Florida, then to Nashville, and back up to Minnesota. Nice. That's how you put a week together right there. Bull of the Woods. Throwing a couple beers in there. Appreciate it. Dennis says a C13 and C15. There was a C12 in there in first. Like when they first switched over, though. It was the C12, wasn't it? That was before the C13. C13 came with ACERT, didn't it? If I'm remembering right. That's, the Gentry guy loves those old Freightliners. Yeah, man, they're easy to work on. They're just you can fix them, you know. Harvey Roberts says Barry Harbison, are you from Arkansas? Okay. Let me get that off the screen here. So yeah, if you're just coming in, appreciate it. Doing a polar plunge this weekend for charity for Make a Wish, Wisconsin for the Make a Wish Foundation. If you're interested in making any kind of charitable donations this year, consider that one. You can cash at me at $DIY semi, and I'm matching anything that's donated. Anybody that leaves a super chat, I'll make up the part that YouTube keeps, and try to keep the ball rolling here. Last year we raised $5,600, but hey, money was everywhere last year, wasn't it? Do not expect that this year. Um, where did I leave off here? Do I know any companies that use the 60 hours 7-day clock? I think some of the local companies around here might do that. I don't know. I've never personally worked at one or know anybody. Uh, Jackknife says, I don't know. According to the Freight Waves report I put out, it looks like the market's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. There's a lot of outside political influence that could affect it. Yeah, yeah. I'm not just keen on putting out Freight Wave stuff anymore. It's nothing against Freight Waves, but it's like anybody can sit here and just here's what Freight Wave says. I kind of trying to stay away from that, form my own opinions and stuff. I don't have a great outlook on the rest of the year, but for I don't know. I guess Freight Waves doesn't either, but I guess we kind of come to our decisions in a different kind of roundabout way. And plus, at a certain point, all that like there's a certain point where you can have too much information, right? And it affects you. It definitely affects the decisions that you make. And at a certain point, I just got to say, you know what? I got a business to run. Whether they're saying it's going to be bad or whether they're saying it's going to be good, I got a freaking business to run. I got responsibilities. You just got to do it. You just got to keep doing it. So that's kind of my strategy right now. Like I'm fully aware. Like I don't need, I don't need them telling me every day how bad or how worse it's going to get. I already know. Already living it. But um, that time is better spent for me, kind of looking at some other options or whatever. Just kind of keep the ball rolling. Steven says Stoughton makes a great dry van. I have a 2022 and loved it. I've pulled a few Stoughtons in my days. It was back many years ago though. Man, there used to be all kinds of trailer manufacturers. The Strick is Strick still around? And what was another one? Well, I can't even remember. Pulled mostly Wabashes though, mostly Wabash dry vans. Street Scarface. I'm looking for a good company to lease. Well, does anybody know? Have a recommendation for Scarface here? Where to lease? Okay, am I wrong? Am I wrong about the C12, Dennis? I very well could be. I swear that was a thing. No. 53 Step says, "What's up?" Let me Google that Caterpillar C12. See if maybe I've had too much water to drink tonight. Water intoxication. Oh, it was a thing. Yeah, 430 horse. Yep, that was in some of the early Columbias and Cascadia, or early Columbias and Centuries. You can get that engine. Um, CJ says March 15th, Senate passed unanimously the Sunshine Protection Act. No votes in the House. Senate has reintroduced bill to end the time change after this week. Surely we can all agree on this. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I wish they would put that kind of effort into seriously passing some meaningful. Not that that's not meaningful. I think it's. I've always thought that time change was kind of dumb, but we got some really big problems right now. Know what I'm saying? Steve Fanslow in the house. Thanks for coming in. 53 steps says speculation. Okay. I'm thinking about swapping that ISX out to a kitty cat. In my International 9400, this would be the fourth truck with a come apart that the engine has literally come apart. Sell that doggone thing. Just get her out of your life. Oh, AR, appreciate it. $9.99 super chat. Thank you. I've also want to say thank you so much. You've been quite an inspiration for me. You definitely made me a better business person, even when times were really tough last year. And I appreciate all you do. Well, thank you. That's a very kind thing for you to say. Um, that's what it's all about, man. Streets, Scarface, the dispatch. Oh, you're looking for a company to dispatch you. Okay. Well, I get like 5 to 10 dispatch service calls a day now. They're really stepping up their game. Really started to yell at most of them. Just tired of it. They all say the dumbest things. Like, you need to perfect your script. If you're going to read off a script when you call, at least have a good script. Because anybody that knows anything will see right through your BS. I don't know how. I don't know how they have even a 0.1% success rate. Anybody who takes that call and hires them, you should be slapped in the face. You're hiring stupid. You're hiring incompetence. Okay. Freight Waves has 3 viewers. Okay. I don't think they're wrong. I don't think it's bad information. But like I said, I'm fully aware how much that's like being having negative stuff pounded into your head all day affects you. I know it affects me. So I just got to tune it out as noise sometimes. Like, you tell me it's going to be bad. Okay. It's going to be bad. Now I got work to do. Leave me alone. I mean, that's kind of the way I see it at this point. Cents per mile says I parked 10 minutes ago and a damn skeeter got between me and the knuckles already. Don't you be talking about them skeeters yet. It is March 9th and it is snowing like a banshee here. There is no room for skeeters in my life. With both feet says my customer has their company drivers on the 60-hour clock. Okay. I don't know the benefit or disadvantage of, I mean, it seems to me like it's all the same. 60 and 7 days or 70 and 8 days. Kind of seems same to me, but what do I know? Bear Harbison says always profit to be made in the Chinese laundromat. You have a good business model. There you go. It was, but they were only like 385 horsepower turned up. Okay. Google's is telling me 430, which I think what the trucks I was driving was set at, but I don't know. They were underpowered, that's for sure. C12 was way better than C13. Yeah, the C12 was pre-ACERT, and then once it was ACERT, I believe it was C13. Steve Fanslow says, Scar, I leased a Mercer. I'm not getting rich, but I'm very happy. Man, what most drivers would give to be happy at a company, right? Let's put this to rest. AB5 officially came to Illinois. What happened in Illinois that AB5 came? You know, I was thinking about this today. For some reason, this AB5 thing popped in my head for no reason at all. Nobody was talking about it. I didn't read anything about it. And I got to thinking about it. Why isn't AB5 affecting lumpers? Why aren't these warehouses forced to hire these lumpers as employees? Sure, they come in as subcontractors, but the grocery warehouse says when they need them there for how long. They use the grocery warehouse's forklifts and their pallet jacks and their shrink wrap, their dock plates, everything. Um, they tell them how to do their job, what to do. I think they needs to be AB5 for lumpers. I'm serious. If they're going to hit us with AB5, I really don't see any difference. Lumpers don't need to be a thing. They can be employees of the warehouse, and then we don't even need to be involved. Uh, One of my drivers told me that he went to a CNS distribution center, and they had to sign up. No more lumpers. We got rid of them, or they're employees of the warehouse now. So maybe that's what made me have that thought. But AB5, that's good enough for us. It's good enough for lumpers. There's a lot of similarities there. Uh, okay, Aris, thank you again for the super chat. Oh, we got another one here. Big Daddy Trucking. Thank you, sir, for the plunge protection team. LOL. Well, thank you. We I need to text my wife here and tell her to start writing these down, so I know how much I have to track here. And I keep a list here so I know who everybody who contributed. It's very much appreciated. Super chats. All right. Dennis says I was thinking C10. Okay. Yeah, C10, isn't that what they put in the motorhomes and stuff like that? Jackknife says DIY, you sound like an old lady. I just spent $1,500 to go pick it up in Virginia, bring it back. Oh, like my old lady. Bring it back home to PA. Test that bigger idiot theory. I test that often. That there's always a bigger idiot out there that will buy it and pay what I want to pay. Coach Ret Vet. Stupid is as stupid does. I'm getting into the industry in June, no matter how bad freight is. Hopefully, the 401k holds me over till I get experience enough to buy a truck. Okay. Yeah, definitely get some experience before you buy one. Hit the ground running. Make your mistakes on somebody else's dime. I always say. I don't want to work 60 or 70 a week. LOL. Ooh. Then definitely don't buy a bunch of trucks and hire a bunch of drivers because you're gonna work 100. Steve Fanslow says F&A Big Daddy. Okay. Oliver, I wish I could get 70 hours now. Oh, are they still cutting your hours since they put you on hourly pay over there at Big Orange? Barry Harvard says excellent point. Those lumpers are basically the same as drivers. Same concept. They dictate your job, how you do your job, when you got to be there, um, all that kind of stuff. And you're doing it on, even worse, you're doing it on their property. We're not even doing our job on the carrier's property that we're leased to. So you could even make a stronger point that lumpers are employees, not independent contractors. Just saying. Applied evenly, and everybody wants fairness, right? David Edwards says, going to have to rewatch this. Okay, that's a good plan. It's a good plan. Cents per mile, I never understood that when I ran reefer. Can you explain a lumper service? I didn't get why I pay them to take the product that they ordered. That's a very fair point from our perspective, and I've often thought that way. There's kind of more to it than that. Um, the long and short of it, a lot of these warehouses want their products at a certain tie and high, right? It's 7 on a layer, 7 layers high, whatever. That's how they store it. To get more on a trailer, a shipper will upstack. They'll stack that sucker high, double stack, multiple products on a pallet. The receiver wants that broken down. Um, but it's cheaper to upstack everything and load that truck than it is to ship 4 separate trucks, right? So it's cheaper for them to pay to have it rebroken down at the receiver than it is to ship 4 loads, right? I do agree we should not be involved in this transaction. This should be between shipper and receiver. We shouldn't be involved in it at all. But these days, I don't mind too much. Just I'm gonna get reimbursed. Um, get me unloaded. Get me the hell out of there. I think that if you show up sealed, they should have to pull it off. They can count it later. Don't hold me up for your stupid count. But that's the long and short of it. So they can get more in the trailer is the whole purpose for the lumpers. But why do we got to be part of that transaction? I know why. There's a legal reason why, because we take possession of the freight. So uh, brokers, if they knew what they were doing and they knew their business, they would not prepay lumpers because they're accepting possession of the freight at that point. The reason the carrier has to pay for it is because they have possession of the freight. They are the only one that can hire somebody to unload it. That's the long and short of the legal aspect of it. Um, a broker cannot hire somebody to unload somebody else's freight. Um, is what it comes down to. So they shouldn't be prepaying it. I love it when they do. I wish they would. It should all be prepaid. We shouldn't have nothing to do with it. But I'm just saying, if you're asking why is that, why are we involved in that transaction? Because we have possession of the freight. Is really the legal reason. So long and short of it, there's more to it than that. But Jackknife says the same reason AB5 is enforced in other industries and why semi truck drivers are being pulled over and ticketed for careless driving because they're eating or drinking. Okay. How many miles does a typical long haul team drive on recaps? You got me. I mean, if I was driving team, I would want it like at least 5,000 miles a week, long haul. You could theoretically do a good bit more than that, but this nonsense of hiring a team and then not giving them any miles is just it's a dirty pool. George Wilson says winter weather, ice and snow. This is where a manual gearbox really shines and keeps you in control. Yeah, I like it in bad weather too. I don't want that thing doing anything I don't want it to do. Oh, Midwest Mike in the house. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Um, Cash says, "Hey Adam, Asian Mai had a video yesterday about a carrier Freight Works that closed its doors because their contract shipper brought the rates down. Any comments on that? They had 187 trucks. It's happening. Like, the rates. I mean, I know it's popular to hate on the brokers that they're keeping too much, and yes, it's true. Um, but it's not like if a load paid $5,000 a year ago, and you say the broker was keeping 500 or whatever, and you were getting 4,500. I'm just making stuff up, and it came to you at 4,500, and now that load to you is 3,000, 3,500. Don't assume that it's still $5,000 load. Shippers are not dumb; they're wise to that. The rates have come down. Now, the broker may be keeping a larger percentage because they're in a position of they can find a truck anywhere. But yes, rates have absolutely come down. Uh, let me get this off the screen here. Um, dang it, they're slow paying. So I have places that are slow paying. They're late. Um, all kinds of things. So we're having all kinds of issues now. Um, so I have the brokerage too, and I've only ever had one company deny me a load for my carrier because I'm tied to a brokerage, and that was Swift. Swift, I cannot book a load with Night Swift. They will not allow me to because I have a brokerage. Um, that is, I had another place telling me that today. He says, "Yeah, we're checking that now because we don't we can be more picky." I'm like, "I've hauled literally 100 loads for you," and he got to looking into it. He's like, "Oh, okay, you're good." But I just noticed that here. I had to ask you about it. They want carriers that have inspections on their record. A lot of them are going now to the 6 months of the authority before we'll give you a load. What else? All kinds of things. They're being picky. They're starting to be picky. Brokers are. So yeah, these things are happening. But yeah, there's gonna be companies that go out of business because rates are going down, especially if they don't have their costs under control, or you know they may have been doing just fine. They may have been doing just fine with the lower rates, and then interest rates tick up. If they got loans on all their equipment and they're not a strong enough company where they can have a good fixed long-term rate, and that loan comes up for renewal every so many years or whatever, and that loan happened to come up this year when interest rates are 3 times what they were last year at this time, that could have been the linchpin right there. um, that's so there's a lot of things affecting us and affecting carriers right now than just these freight rates. It's interest rates, cost of goods, cost of parts. So I didn't really read the story or look at it to see what the straw that broke the camel's back, but with businesses, shippers, manufacturers are struggling. How long before some of them just they don't pay? Somebody will go bust somewhere, and kind of be. I remember years ago when who was it? Some major company went bankrupt, and there was a Fleming Foods used to be a grocery distribution center up here, and they ended up going out of business because that was one of their main vendors of their products, and one business folding can put others out of business too. Steve with $20 super chat, appreciate it. Just one more old school repair video, how to break a frozen bolt. Really, I'm from the West. We don't know what rust is. Thanks to your chat. We all ask many questions here and some get good info. Yeah, man, there's a lot of ways to do it. Always the first thing I do is try soaking that sucker with penetrating oil. I've broken some heads off and had to, weld a nut on there. Um, the best thing to do is just soak it as best you can. Sometimes you got to heat it up and just instead of just trying to break that sucker loose, rock it back and forth, and just keep going slow, back and forth. A lot of times that's the best way to break that sucker loose. Slow, steady pressure, and not in both directions. Um, Cents per mile says, but if a broker can't hire someone to unload someone else's freight, not that they can't, they shouldn't. If the lumper isn't a company, okay, if a broker can't hire someone to unload someone else's freight, if the lumper isn't a company employee, isn't that exactly what's happening? I propose we start AB5 for lumpers. Yeah, I agree. AB5 for lumpers. Somebody start the bill. Free press for our channels. There you go. There you go. Have you started your tractor collection recently? Keep those fluids. I have not. All the batteries are out and they're in the garage, warm for the winter. We don't keep the batteries in them in the winter because my shed is not heated and they will all freeze and be junk. Ritchie Brothers sold 23 dry vans for 30K at the Orlando auction the other week. What year were they? Or are you saying 2023 dry vans or the number 23 like 2021, 22, 23? Why would 2023 dry vans be at auction already? So what trailer do you pull? Okay, Steve, thanks again for the super chat. We're gonna donate that. We'll match it. Cents per mile says Donald Collins flatbed step deck Conestoga and RGN. Wow, you got a lot of trailers there. Cents per mile. Let me reset this here. We got 106 people in here. Um, Doing a charity event this weekend, guys. Saturday, doing a polar plunge where a bunch of us stupid rednecks in the freezing cold go out and jump in some frozen water to raise money for the Make a Wish Foundation. If you care to donate, I'm going to match all donations here. My Cash App is DIY Semi, or if you leave a super chat, I'll make up the difference of whatever YouTube keeps here. Um, if you were thinking about making a charitable donation this year, consider this one. If not, we're cool. I know money isn't what it was last year. That's for darn sure. All right. Stuart says Celadon. Celadon's long gone. Oh, okay. So, oh yeah, you're saying reasons, various reasons for putting a trucking company out of business. Yeah, Celadon was a good example for that. Theirs came down to they probably could have made it absent of the shenanigans that their executives were pulling. They're pretty much robbing the company blind. Jeffrey Houlihan says, "Mash the thumbs up." Yeah, that's a good idea. Appreciate it. Year 23. So 2023 dry vans were already at auction. That's not a that's not a good sign. Not even used? Did they come from did like a dealer go belly up or something? Jack Neff says, I just got back some merch. It's not finalized yet. Tell me what you think. It's on my community page. Okay, we can do that. I'm sure it's better than mine. I think the hoodie has a little too much going on. If you're looking to me for fashion sense, this is fashion as fashionable as I get right here. I don't have an orange or yellow shirt on today. Barry says, "Damn near killed you last year. Be careful." Yeah, yeah, it was not a good situation, but I had other things going on. Steve $20 super chat. Appreciate it. Says match this. We will, sir. We definitely will. Street Scarface says fuel filter is dirty after only 3 days of being replaced. Is all black? Ooh, black isn't good. Is it suddenly black, or has it been black for a while, like maybe asphaltene, um, or algae? You felt it with your fingers. Is it slimy? Is it hard like tar? Is it what do we got going on? But you could have like in mine. I had some combustion gases getting up in the fuel rail through my head, so it could be several different things. Bad if it's a Series 60, your fuel pump could be leaking through, letting a little bit of oil in your fuel. Um, could be a lot of possibilities there. John Boy says, I need some of those guys saying freight would not drop below $3 per mile ever again to come rub on me. Daddy needs some fuel money. you know, going back a ways, I could put together one heck of a compilation video of I told. Uh, this wasn't too hard to see coming, but yeah, it's not fun to live it. Definitely not. All right, we'll get that done for you there, Steve. Barry says, didn't Fate Truckin' agree to plunge with you this year? He did, and he's out working. He welched on his thing there, but he's out working. It's all right. Got to keep caught up on that money. Stuart says, not sure on the backstory. Okay. That would have been a steal, man. I would have bought one of them. Dang it. Oh, Donald Collins, $20 super chat. Appreciate it. We'll match that. Get it put onto the total there. Appreciate it. If you use the Cash App, DIY gets more money for the charity. YouTube takes around 40% before he gets it. They do, but I'll just make up that difference. Like if somebody does a $20 Cash App or super chat, I just put it on there as $20. It's part of my match. But yeah, definitely. I know not everybody does Cash App. Steve says DC Make a Wish, very cool. Fuel lines, do they need to be replaced? Yeah, I mean they can degrade. They can essentially degrade from the inside out. Only 7 thumbs up. Are you serious, David Edwards? Man, we need some more thumbs up than that. Donald says, sorry, I didn't know that. Yeah. So I was looking. Let me get in my email here for a second. So the FMCSA came out with some recommendations for this broker stuff, right? Redefining what's a broker in a dispatch service, and it's absolutely laughable. Let me see if I didn't delete that. Trucker seeks. It does absolutely nothing. I mean, literally, absolutely nothing, other than forces some dispatching services to go get a broker bond and a broker authority. Okay, well, what does that do? Nothing. It just made him spend like 2 grand to scam you instead of doing it for free. I mean, I read that and I was just dumbfounded. I'm like, these people they really don't get it. Um, and then there's people that still want them to pass more legislation on this stuff. Like they worked long and hard on and this was the dumbest thing they come up with, or the best thing they came up with. It's really dumb. It does absolutely nothing. I deleted the one from earlier today, which is what I really wanted to read. But here I got this. Oh, and there's one part of it that I found particularly funny. Let me see if I can find this. Oh, so when all else fails, break out racism. So this one guy here said that due to the $75,000 uh, 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 what do you call it? The bond with the bond requirement, that it's racist because people of color Let me find this here. I just about fell out of my chair when I read that. Um, don't tell me I can't find it now. Well, shame on me. But the gist of it was is that it's prejudice or racist against people of color because they're less likely to be able to put aside $75,000 into a trust for a broker bond. And I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It says they often have no money. So I'm like, well, I don't care who you are. If you can't scrape up $1,000 for a broker bond, you have absolutely no business being a broker in the first place. How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to do anything? That's just so you're going to enable. You watch somebody will probably put an exception there to enable somebody like that to go ahead and get a bond and be a broker and um, you know do whatever and not pay you. it's just it's just dumbfounding. It will. This is another example of how it will make the problem worse and not better. So let's not ask for any more uh, of these regulations. Now, I don't want to talk about this, but anyway, seeing a lot on YouTube of the broker hate, right? And I get it, but it's starting to come from some people who really actually liked and respect, and just vitriol and hatred, which I get it. Like, trust me, I get it. Hey, it's my money too, right? I same boat you guys. Book loads through brokers. It's less, blah blah blah. But I'm not gonna sit here and scream about it. Um, I'm kind of the opinion that time I could spend doing that is better spent doing something else to to further my business or to solve that problem for me. So if I'm gonna sit here for a half hour and scream about brokers keeping the money, they got nothing in it, blah blah blah. There needs to be a law against these people, blah blah blah. But then I continue to do business the same way, and my only strategy and business model is to book loads through brokers. What the hell does that say about me, right? It's, I'll take that energy that I was going to take to make that video and go try to find a way to not work with brokers. Try to find a way to work directly with somebody. That's the only thing that's going to fix this. Oh my gosh, Michael Ayers. Holy cow. $300 super chat. Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna match that. We're gonna add that to the total here. Going to the Make a Wish for kids. I thank you so much. That goes a long ways, man. Um, but anyway, as far as that, I was watching some, and it's not just one person. There was several channels. You know, um, okay, let's go to Freight Waves and see what the rate is, shipper to broker, and then broker to carrier. Here's the Freight Waves again. Stirring people up. Not really. They're just putting the numbers out. People get themselves stirred up, and there was a lot of lanes where it was significant. Oh, back up a second. Um, here's the quickest way to make me not like you or make me not respect you anymore, right? So talking about how much brokers are keeping, right? And they're keeping 20, 30, 40, 50%. Sometimes they're keeping up to 100% of the freight of the load. Have you ever hauled a load for free? 100% of $1,000 is $1,000. So if the load pays $1,000 and they're keeping 100%, they're keeping $1,000. That leaves bupkis for you. All right. If you're gonna you know fight this fight and be the person that people look to for advice or for information on this topic, you can't be saying dumb things like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But anyway, nobody. I had somebody try and tell me in one of my live chats one time that the brokers are keeping up to 400% of the load, or 300% of the load. And I'm like, explain that math. So if the load's $1,000, they're keeping 300%. That means you owe them $2,000. Really? Have you done that? Have you ever done that? I haven't. I don't do it. But anyway, it's mixing words, which is doesn't matter. But if if you have to be consistent, uh, even if you're wrong. So if you're running a business, and if you're the you have a responsibility when you're the person that people look to for information and advice, and one of those responsibilities is to be consistent, and through the good times and the bad, and admit when you're wrong, and a lot of things, provide solutions, provide information, provide answers. I don't feel like screaming at brokers on YouTube is helps that cause. So I wish people wouldn't do that. It makes me lose respect for them. But I trust me, I understand the frustration. I'm just as frustrated. But I'll be damned if I'm going to spend any more than a minute on that. On to something else. Like this guy that was trying to get everybody in the country to boycott TQL. The hell good is that going to do? Nobody used TQL for a day. Guess what? They'll ship all their loads tomorrow. It's going to do absolutely nothing. And besides, people aren't going to go along with it anyway. So any of these solutions where we all need to get together and do this, it's never going to happen. We we have to have other solutions, man. Um, there is there is no everybody get together and do anything. You can't control what other people do. And sitting here screaming about brokers and this, yeah, it sucks. Okay, well, that's out there. Now, what else we got to do? We got to figure some things out. And putting all that energy into that when could be out cold calling customers, hey, I deal with some brokers that I really like. They've been good to me. They've been consistent. Um, you look around for some of those, calling other trucking companies. Some of my favorite brokerages are brokers that are trucking companies. Man, I tell you what, when there's a problem, they know the customer because they send their trucks there, and I tend to get them solved faster and taken care of better. Oh, Doug Kelly, man, holy cow, $50 super chat for Make a Wish. Appreciate that, sir. That's pretty awesome of you, and you guys are great. Um, Steve says, "Nice, yeah, Michael, $300 and Doug Kelly, $50. Jeepers, you guys are killing it." And um, come on, but it says fluctuations. Yeah, you remember the joke? That was a bad joke. I regret telling that joke. Stuart says, "I don't understand the broker hate right now. I think this is prime time for carriers to push why they are a better option than brokers, but they don't even know what the value they bring over brokers." There is in every crisis or tragedy, there's opportunity. There really is. Oh, geez, Steve with $50 super chat. Appreciate it. Make a wish, take the plunge. I'm gonna take the plunge. I'm gonna live stream it like I did last year. I could probably be coerced and coaxed to jump again if I need to. Um, this I'm not, this year is going to be colder. The outside air temperature is going to be warmer, but the water is going to be colder because it's colder. Last year the temperature dropped like the night before, so the water didn't have time to get down to -7. It was still like, I don't know, 20 degrees or something. But this year it's going to be cold leading up to it. We might have some shrinkage involved. um, but yeah, anyway, back to the Stewart's comment here that it's prime time for carriers to push why they are a better option than brokers, but they don't even know what the value they bring over brokers. That is very true. Um, in some respects, customers right now are tired of hearing from brokers because they got 100 brokers a day calling. It's not. It's tough to be a broker right now too, even though they're making for more money. Number one, they're moving less loads, and number two, like the competition is fierce. You could get a new customer today, and tomorrow some other broker comes in and cuts your legs out from under you. The competition is fierce, and that's we're suffering because of that too, because it brings the rates down. But um, customers are kind of tired of getting cold called 100 times a day from 100 different brokers. Be the carrier that calls them. There's a noble thought. Keep talking to people on the docks. It's just talking to people. And I ain't saying it's going to be easy or it is easy. It's not easy, but it takes time. But if you don't do it, it'll never happen. So start now. Always keep trying. This trucking is weird, man. We're one of the only business models where people in the industry don't want to deal direct with the customer, or think they can't, or don't try. We do 100% through. A lot of people do 100% through a middleman. That's just would be really kind of foreign in any other business. Michael says we're going to need you to wear a much tighter T-shirt during the plunge this year. Well, they get tight when they get wet. What? Mm, am I am I wearing a white one, showing off the goods? Is that what we're doing this year? Come on, with it says my brokers always keep 0%. There you go. There you go. It's just it's just it's one of those simple math things. Like, really, you're telling me they're keeping 100%? You're gonna have to break down that math for me. Now, from now on, no, I'm probably gonna have to say that just as a side joke or a jab. David Edwards says a tutu and a crop top. I thought about getting me some water wings, but I went to the dollar store and they only have ones for little kids. They might fit around my wrist. I don't know. That'd be stylish. That'd be pretty stylish. Doug Kelly, thanks again for super chat. J Money, it's never going to happen because people that think like you are at the moment. It's never going to happen because of people that think like you are at the moment. No, it's human nature. Plus, I'm I want to run my own business. I want to do my own thing. There's plenty of people out there like that. You get outside of the YouTube world, there's not so much of that going on. Like the people making the real money in trucking, you'll never see them on YouTube. And besides, you and I and other people and everybody in here, 100 people in here, we got probably 100 different opinions. And I don't, nobody else speaks for me but me. And I imagine a lot of other people are like that too. And I don't join any organizations, no lobbying groups, because I disagree with most of the things they say. So, it's the all in kind of thing. Mm, we're not union, you know. But and we've been trying. How long have we been trying that? Try other things. We got so much technology right now, man. We'll put it to use. Like, if it hasn't been working the last 50 years, let's try something different. Steve, again, $50 super chat. Appreciate it so much. James Clark, look into an asset based brokerage. Do you have a separate address and company name? Okay. Do you have to have? You don't have to, but you should. So I have an asset based brokerage. I have trucks and then the brokerage. I don't do much with the brokerage. I was, but we kind of lost that for the moment. Um, do you have to have separate company address and name? You should. It's in your best interest. Because if, especially in this nuclear verdicts, like C.H. Robinson just got that nuclear verdict. If they'd have had trucks and stuff running under the same name, they could attach those assets in the lawsuit. So separate is better. And I did get a separate address and separate name, separate phone. I just went and kind of bought a burner phone for that purpose. And yeah, separated everything out, even separate emails and everything. Now there is places that have it all under one name. I think if they had a good lawyer, they'd advise them against that. Go Truck Yourself says good evening. Well, good evening. Thanks for coming in. Mike Nine Toes, late but made it. Admit, boy, those super chats are popping. Yeah, we're doing this is all for charity tonight for the Make a Wish Foundation. So anybody that leaves a super chat, I'm making up the difference, that YouTube keeps, and then anybody who sends a Cash App, all that goes to it's Cash App, $DIY semi, all that goes right to Make a Wish, and then everything as a whole that's donated, I'm matching it. So yeah, you guys are very very generous with the super chats. I appreciate that. Um, and then I'm gonna live stream it. Maybe tomorrow I'll go stick my hand in the water, think about my icy demise. J Money says cash trucks will win big after the trade wars and more carriers go out of business. The sad part is a lot of people are selling their trucks now. The market is resetting rates in carriers. That is true. And I'm a fan of the cash truck. Um, I love the cash truck. A cash truck can be a $10,000 jalopy, or it can be a $80,000, 2-year-old, 3-year-old truck. George Wilson, what is that behind me? This is the company outhouse. We company meetings in here. We got a 5-man jalopy here that we also have family reunions, picnics, and safety meetings in the outhouse here. J Money says it's an old chat house. Yes. Frank G says most insurance carriers will not cover you unless you separate liability. They will very much advise you to separate it out, and that's good advice. Robert B, I never run super singles because I charge per wheel. Smart, 18 wheels, $18 a mile. Ooh, Robert's getting $1 a mile per wheel. Damn it. We got to learn to do. We got to live that kind of life. Come on, what it says. You have a great sense of humor and are intelligent. Your business ideas are fun and interesting. You're enlightening. Knuckleheads like cash. Oh, we like to have fun, though, man. We like to have fun. Well, I appreciate your compliments. Uh, Appreciate it. Yeah, he'll be back tomorrow night. He's got a live stream set up for tomorrow night, so we're gonna do it again tomorrow night. Whoop it up, if you will. With both feet says nobody else speaks for me, at least not without a recruitment bonus. It's all about those recruitment bonuses. I got to get a referral code. Tell me what you guys think about this, because I know how these things go. So I got a place I've been working with in some kind of capacity. Um, that's a trucking company. It's a small company, like 50 trucks, and I've really gotten to like the people. And I've met a couple of their drivers. I like them. I know what they do. I like the way the company runs. But here's the thing: I have no idea what they pay. I have no idea what their benefits are. uh, any of that stuff. Their equipment's nice. The drivers are home regularly. I kind of want to like bring him on with an interview to like talk about his company. But then I don't want to know about pay. I don't want to know about vacation. I don't want to know about benefits because I want to stay like detached from it. Like I'm not getting a referral bonus. I just think it's a good company, and like so many people get treated like crap that if I put it out there, hey, here's a good company. But then like I'm not going to get involved in the other part because I want to stay neutral. I don't know. Is that a bad idea? Is that a bad idea? It's just be basically putting it out there because like, you know, guys, people are out there right now. Oh, they're stealing my paychecks. They won't let me go home. This and that, and I'm like, well, then maybe the better company should be promoted. I don't know. I even told them I'm like, I don't want to get paid for it or get a referral bonus because like I just want to tell people about your company and let you guys work it out. But that may be a bad idea. Um, Steve says Jay just talked to a Werner lease op making $1.12 a mile. My average is 280. All miles, no payments. Not getting rich, but happy. Hey, 280 a mile, all miles, no payments. You can get rich that way. Trust me. Uh, I'll damn sure show you how. Yes, you could. Mr. Metzger, need your boots, keys, and truck. You have to go make money. Yep. Barry says, I thought this was a classy chat house. Now we don't have the fancy porcelain seats. No, we it's no fun if you don't run the risk of getting a 6-inch sliver, you know, right up your keister. There's got to be a sense of adventure there. K-Whopper Kid says, if you don't have direct customers, the broker is your customer. Yes. Treat them like a customer. Dazzle them. Unless they're just a piece of crap. Then who cares? I don't see the point of going online and trash talking your customer. And the last week I got more calls than ever from TQL. Yeah, I so that's the thing. That was going to be my next point about trash talking the people that you're trying to do business with. No, like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, it didn't play well when people were rubbing it in all over YouTube on look how much I'm taking them for and how much I'm making off these guys and look how bad I stuck it to them. It just doesn't play well, man. These are the people you're trying to do business with, and don't think they don't watch. They watch. They watch more than you think in every different industry. I know there's one particular shipper probably watching this right now. Uh, we don't know each other. He's never done business, but I know who they are, and I know they watch. It doesn't play well. And then when things turn, don't do it the other way. They they remember, especially when they have time to take notes. Last 3 years they probably didn't have time to take notes. They got time right now to take notes. It just doesn't play well, man. You never saw, you don't see now shippers or whoever. Maybe there's one or two brokers on YouTube talking this about how bad they're getting over on us. It's just not good. It's not a good business look. It's just really not. I mean, yeah, I don't. I'm not a fan of going on YouTube and doing that. If and this is around forever. I can delete this video, but it exists somewhere in the interwebs world forever, and people can come back to it and see, hey, you said this about me or us or this or that. Um, it's it's not a good look. Come on, but it says it's a good idea. People can call for the details you don't cover. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And then plus, I'm like, okay, if you don't like what they pay or they whatever, then don't. I didn't say like try to sell you on it. I'm just trying to say, hey, here's a good. These are good people. Basically, that's all I'm saying. Like there is good people to work for, and it's in its infancy. I don't know. But then again, even if I don't have a referral code or whatever, like I'll be accused of getting paid for it anyway. So I don't see a way to win that. I really don't. YouTube is funny that way. With both feet sounds kind of like you kind of. Let me try that again. Sounds like you want to be kind of pregnant. No need to go all in or out. I think that's right. That's right. Killian says I leave a super chat and DIY can't read my comment. Last super chat I'm sending, buddy. I didn't. You didn't leave. You didn't leave a. Oh, you did leave a super chat. Oh man. Killian's trucking. $20 super chat. I'm supposed to be your new driver. Hashtag make a wish. Is that your make a wish? Is to be one of my drivers? Are you terminally ill, Killians? Is that what this is about? I missed a couple. I missed Paul. Missed a Paul Harris comment too. It says y'all a bunch of greenhorns. You need to make a $1.50 per axle per mile. Golly, ooh, is the best Gomer pile. Uh, yeah, appreciate that, Killians. Sorry about that, buddy. Hey, wishes do come true. You submit your wish to the Make a Wish Foundation. Tell them, oh, Daddy DIY gonna make it come true someday. Oh man. Oh, well, now where did I leave off? Okay. Cents per mile says I was able to land a preferred hauler status this week with a broker 3 minutes from my house. So cheers to that. Hey, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And that's see. Okay, let's go back to the freight waves thing again, and too much information, right? Even though it's valid, it's true. Playing on your psyche, you might not go out and look for something like that. You might, oh man, it's bad. I'm not even gonna go out this week. I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna sit home and sit this out. Blah blah blah. There's opportunities like this. There, even though things suck or whatever. Some people they suck. Some people they don't. So, hey, for a lot of people right now, it's business as usual, right? Because they kind of work some things out over the last period of time. That's the thing too. Is like It can take you a lifetime to work some of these things out. It happens a lot faster now because of internet, YouTube, and technology, and blah blah blah. But hey, it took me 20 years to figure some of this stuff out, and some of it minus the help from Paul from Freight Connect, I may have not figured out at all. That's another thing. Maybe it's in time to employ the services of somebody like that. Uh, this is when it's kind of tough, right? You need a pro on your side, but there is there's still opportunity, man. It's out there somewhere. You're sitting in the truck stop or whatever, restaurant or truck. Look around you and see all the people sitting there doing whatever, playing video games or movies or dinking the dog or whatever. That's what they're doing, you know, killing time. That's the time when you can be different and be googling, hey, where's all the warehouses in Memphis, right? And start calling, or hey, googling, how do I haul freight for um, Lineage Logistics? Not that anybody would want to haul for that godforsaken place, but you know, um, start looking for some ways in the back door everywhere, or hitting the Google Maps of every small town within 50 miles of you and looking. All right, here's this is a florist here, uh, or a greenhouse. Are they growing nursery stock here? Maybe I can give them a call if you're in southeastern Pennsylvania. Look at all these mushroom farms around here. Maybe I need to call some of these mushroom farms and see if I can haul for them. Um, it's a good way to spend your time, because I guarantee you 75-80% of the people that are in that truck stop are just like the guys here on YouTube. They're just going to sit and scream about the brokers. There's a small percentage that are going to be like you and I, and get on the horn and be determined to talk to somebody about these things and find some work. Because if you don't like the broker, don't do something else to try not to do business with them. That's really the best thing you can do for yourself. And like I said, it's not easy, but it definitely can be done. Robert B says, bring the company on a live stream and let them promote themselves. That's what I was thinking. Do it on a live stream. We met in the weirdest way. So I got to tell you this story because this is a weird way. So I'd booked a load from these people, and this is so weird. And booked several, and we got to talking. And one day I call him, talking about a load, and he also, in his position in the small company, is he's does helps with the brokerage, and he drives once in a while to fill in like I do. Well, he's out driving, and I call him, and he's like, I'm just in the truck here trying to fix this damn bunk heater. I'm like, what's wrong with it? He's like, it won't fire, won't do anything. And he's like, I'm getting really mad. I'm trying to watch his YouTube video about it, and the guy's showing how to take the bunk heater apart and change the screen and this and that. And right away, like in the back of my head, I'm cracking up. I'm like, well, what's that video? And he's telling me some guy, and um, it was it was my video. I called him on the phone, a complete random stranger, while he was watching my video on servicing your bunk heater. We like cracked up about that for hours. But anyway, so that's how we kind of got to talking, and learned a lot about their company and like them. But um, True Trucker says, shout out from Cali, where the West Coast freight has flatlined. Yeah, I'm afraid for the coastal states, man. Those imports are, they are not good. They are not good. Even demand for imports is not good. So if you're doing, port work or containers or whatever, start looking for something else, I guess. With both feet says it's all DIY's fault. You can't escape that. Where's TBT? I haven't seen TBT. Oh, he sent a wait a minute. He sent a Cash App earlier. TBT did early on. So thank you, TBT and Mrs. TBT. Um, Steve says, true. I moved to Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's a mecca for drivers. Yeah, a lot of freight in the Midwest. Steve says, cheers. Okay. Barry says, this recruiter for Waffle Stomper Express looks kind of sketchy. Some dude named Cash. Yep. Uh, Juniper K says, right now is business as usual as a company driver. Yeah, I mean, It's a good time to be a company driver. I tell you what, with the way the wages got bumped up so high over the last couple of years, and then um, you probably got contracted freight, etc. A little bit of security benefits. Enrique says, "Is there any con in having a TVC membership?" I mean, the only con I can see is it costs a little bit of money. I need to get uh, into looking into TVC and then seeing if I can set up a group plan for my drivers, save a little bit of money. I keep putting it off, but I need to get that done. With both feet says, "You're right, Barry. Just finished a steak and potato dinner, getting knowledge from the big toe of trucking." It's like a hammer toe, though. A lot of fungus on it. Doug Kelly says, "Been hauling the same load for a big broker to get my direct customer loads. It's now where they set the appointments up to match my schedule. I do them a good job and they take care of me." That's what you're looking for right there. That's what you're looking for. And the last 3 years was the time to be working on setting that up. And it sounds like you did. Just there were so many missed opportunities over the last few years. It's tragic. But some people set it up. Some people set it up right. Yep. Everybody's saying, "Doug, good for you." Absolutely. James says, "When I drive by a company that has a temp control freight, I usually stop and go talk to them about how to be able to haul for them." It's a good way to do it. It's a good way to do it. Catch them off guard. Maybe you'll talk to somebody that's not a recruiter. That's even better. With both feet says, "Thank for that bunk heater video. Been warm in my cab the last 2 weeks." Okay. Um, Last week ended in Florida. Best week I've had in a long time. 9,400 gross on 3,300 miles. This week, on the other hand, has been my worst week in trucking yet. Ooh, yeah. Coming out of Florida on a head haul, it's not a great way to start your week. You're gonna get beat up pretty bad on that. Learned no more Florida loads. Yeah, Florida's tough, man. With both feet says, "Depends on your average. Killian's just get enough going in and it all works out." Well, it's tough to get it in. Ooh, it's tough to get it going in right now. That's what she said. Cents per mile says, "Killian's. I come to Florida at least every other week and do good, but that's flatbed." Okay. There's some seasons kicking off in Florida. Your early nursery stock should be moving, or at least be starting to move now. And thinking early produce season should be about going here pretty soon. Harvey says, "What is a TVC membership?" TVC is that legal services company you see at the truck stops, set up outside the door that you try not to make eye contact with every time you walk in because they try to sell you something. Uh, I've always been kind of like, waste of money. But anymore, man, them helping you get CSA points off your record, and they'll go fight a ticket for you if you get one. The way that enforcement is, I'm thinking it might be a really good idea. Killian says, "I got shafted trying to find a load, man. No more loads past Atlanta." That's not a bad plan. That that deep south can mess you up. Let me check here. Man, I had a driver with a nightmare load this week. Just everywhere he went, I got held up or delayed. Almost had a bunch of free product to bring home though. Got a bunch of they shipped the wrong product and wouldn't take it, but ended up donating it. So that's a good deal. Um, I didn't see. Did anybody see Fate Trucking come in here? I'm gonna send him a link. Where are we at? There we go. He wanted, and we can find out exactly why he chickened out on the polar plunge. So I got new, what do you call it? Fiber optic internet put in this last week. Fiber optic finally made it to my house, and I'm noticing a lot less. I haven't buffered once in this, and I think the image is actually clearer. So maybe that was a good, maybe that was a good upgrade. I was waiting for it to do a live stream here, see how it worked. With both feet says Fate needs to take the plunge. He won't be here Saturday. He'll be out east getting loaded. Tolga, good morning. What time is it over there in Tolga, Turkey, right? You're in Turkey. What time of the morning is it over there? Bear Harbison says, haven't seen our guy Fate trucking. He was driving over a bunch of bridges either. Yeah, what kind of truck driver's got enough money that he can just go tooling across the GW Bridge any old time he wants? I was waiting. I looked to see if he was going eastbound or westbound. I'm pretty sure he was going eastbound. Uh, who's got money like that? Link. He'll just put rap music over any old video. Killian says, been thinking of going flatbed. I thought you were, man, every time I hear from you, you're pulling a different kind of trailer. Let's you're going bulk tanker or dry pneumatic or something. Tolga says it's 6 a.m. in Turkey. Oof, man. Steve Fanslow with $5 super chat. Appreciate it. Says make a wish. Come on, guys. DIY matches this match. Watch me buy a Whopper or help a kid. Yeah, put me in the poorhouse. Make me have to bust out the home equity line of credit. Come on with it. Faye is scared because he doesn't have the beard to keep him warm. Yeah, he's got to go into deep hibernation. Deep hibernation. Midwest Mike says, I got the fiber optic internet a while back. It's way better than the stuff I used to have. Yeah, I'm surprised we got it way out here. I'm far from town, but it's pretty cool. The phones weren't working. We had to have them today come today and fix the phone line. Bear Harbison's Fate Trucking will be taking ferries before we know it. All that independent wealth he has. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. With both feet says good snow died down in Oregon for the moment. I'm trying to see. Looks like it died down here a little bit too. We got like 5-6 inches real quick. No, that's what she said. Sorry, can't even help it in my own live streams. Oh, Vic Med in the house says, what's going on? How's the freight? Well, we're holding our own. It was actually actually booked some decent freight this week, but it's definitely down. How's the port work and the container work out there with the imports being down? Vic runs everybody. If you don't know Vic, check out his channel. It's Vic Med. He's up on the screen right now. He's got some trucks down there in Southern California doing that. What do we call it? Intermodal, local port type stuff, moving stuff around a 150 mile radius down there, and a lot of good information on that channel. Check it out. True Trucker says, I don't know what's going on. I hope things pick up soon. Freight started plumbing back in late September. I'm thinking about going company driver. I've been doing drayage since 2017. Never seen it. Yeah, I mean, it's ho hum, at best. So it's kind of what it's going to be for a while. Not a lot of information showing anything's going to turn around. So, and it's probably go the opposite direction, to tell you the truth. So, never seen it like this before. Yeah, and if you're doing drayage, I mean that's a lot of container stuff. Containers are going to be slow with the imports being down. LS Blue Racing sitting in the dock in Perryville, Missouri. Ooh, okay. Hey, what up, Vic? All right, Daryl Worth, $20 super chat. Appreciate that. We'll definitely get that on a donation there. Steve Fenzel says, Vic, what about AB5? Some new things happening with AB5. Vic, we've come to the determination tonight that lumpers need to be under AB5. They need to be considered employees of the warehouse, since they use their equipment, work under their schedule and conditions, are told how to do their job and work on their property. At least the truck drivers, we don't even work on our carrier's property. So we're going to make a stronger case that lumpers are our employees of the warehouse. There you go. Tolga dropped a link to Vic's channel. Appreciate that, Tolga. Everybody check that out. Riverflow Trucking TV. What's up, truckers? Not much. We're just uh, talking a bunch of trucker trash tonight. Lip gloss laxative. The ports in Jersey are horrible. No movement. Yeah, the East Coast freight. Ooh, you want to talk about soft. You want to talk about down rates, man. Ooh, buddy. It is tough. Vic says the port is running like a turtle. One day is good, next day it's dead. Dry van is one day at a time. I'm going cross-eyed from sitting in front of the computer. Yeah, man, it takes a lot of effort to get that done. I'm finding the only way to do it is to book ahead. Book ahead and hope for the best. Really, book ahead, but you leave yourself enough room there for margin of error. But I don't know if you have the same kind of lead time on stuff coming out of the ports. Maybe not. Um, but yeah, that's definitely takes a lot of effort to book trucks these days. LS Blue Racing says I've been staying booked up Sunday through Friday. A lot of Toyota parts and barrel staves. Occasionally we get a load of maple trees. Okay. Well, stuff like that. Your nursery stock and stuff should start moving here. I know out of Missouri, it's starting. I think it started this week. And then you got up there in Oregon, you got a lot of nursery stuff. But I don't know if that starts quite this early. I think it might be a little early for that. And then Florida, you'll have stuff out of Michigan, flowers and whatnot. So there's going to be some seasonal stuff, but there's still too many trucks. there's still there's still plenty of trucks out there. So it's not going to probably not going to affect rates the way it normally would in a normal year, where it would spike them up a lot. You'll see a spike, but nothing like you're probably wanting. Barry Harbison says very little volume at the local port. Cranes are sitting still. Oof. New Jersey and New York have refused a bunch of ships. They don't have the capacity. So the West Coast is waiting for them ships to show up. Wonder how long it takes for a ship to get from New York port over to like Oakland or LA or Long Beach or whatever. A couple weeks, I'm guessing. I don't know. George Wilson says a driver worth looking at is life on 18 wheels. His name is Mike. Okay. All right. I'm not familiar with that. But I saw there was something else on the yeah, so that FMCSA thing on the broker freight forwarder dispatcher thing was really meaningless. All it was would force some dispatching services to get a broker authority in a broker bond, which is will fix nothing. It will fix nothing. Just reading over that. There was something else too I was going to talk about on there. Oh, yeah. Okay, so here's this. Somebody suggested that broker payments should not go directly from the brokerage to the carrier. That a way to solve this was to make a clearinghouse, another clearinghouse. The first one works so well, and uh, that the payments would go to a clearinghouse, and then from there they would be dispersed to the carrier. Uh, I can't think of anything dumber. it's and somebody said, "Oh, these people have no idea how it works." They say that the broker doesn't pay the carrier until they get paid, which is just absolutely not true either. A lot of brokerages factor, or they have a big float going on, but that's not accurate either. So you're going to put another body of a middleman in between that transaction for the whole thing to get held up and messed up in a mess. It's if everything's not perfect, the money's not going to be dispersed. And we know how these things work. These websites and clearinghouses work flawlessly in the first place. It was a stupid recommendation. Um, the the proposed regulation here does absolutely nothing to go after the bad players for non-payment. Eh, Why don't they look into okay? So these places that for non-payment, um, instead of just only going after them, let's look at why there was a non-payment. Is it because it was pure fraud? Was it the shipper didn't pay them? That's how you're gonna get to the root of the problem. If it's a problem where a shipper went insolvent or something like that, it helps to know the reason. It furthers the cause of solving the problem. But there's no suggestion of any of that. It's just ridiculous how these people that make are charged with these rules have a complete lack of understanding or any kind of knowledge of how things work. And there's no recommendation to actually go after the people that were breaking the law. The only recommendation was, okay, let's make some new rules. Well, okay, well, how does that affect the people that went out and did illegal things? It's just nothing. So I think the whole thing is dumb. I think we'll end up worse off for it because of all these unintended consequences. And the same thing would happen if there was some kind of regulation, um, on you can setting margins, um, for revenue or whatever. So it's just dumb. Vic Med says they're telling us in 2 weeks the ships will arrive. Okay, 2 weeks to get from the East Coast to the West Coast. Sounds about right. Have you seen the ports out in China? They have huge number of empty containers stacked 7 to 8 high. Exports are in the dumps. Demand took a nosedive. Yes. So even if China does go full bore back on production, no demand. What? Okay, then what? So it's people aren't spending money. They don't have it. They can't afford it. They're scared to. Um, we need some real changes. What about an accessorial bond the shipper allows the broker to use? Brainstorming. Uh, but like I don't know. Any problems should be solved out of the broker's bond. When you say accessorial, are you talking about like accessorial uh, additions to the bill, like detention and lumpers and stuff like that, or are you talking about accessorial and like in addition to? Um, I more. It's kind of more of the same. Really, it's just yet another bond when there's still no punishment for the bad actors and going after the people who did wrong and illegal things. If you know what I'm saying, like till we do that, I don't really see any change. And plus, then if they don't do anything to the bad players, the people that did all these things, what's to deter anybody else from following the rules? Well, these people got away with it. There was no punishment or payment or fines or jail time or anything like that. Why should we follow those rules and then any of these new ones? They don't enforce the ones they have. So I don't know. The government wants to know about any transaction over $600. Daddy wants to know everything. Yeah, and that's just completely ridiculous too. I'm so against that. I hate that so much. Jeff, just FYI, snowing in Indiana. Yeah, yeah, ugh, it's gonna be an ugly night. I was gonna go on a road trip tonight, but then it started snowing like hell, and decided to stay home. Russell Freight Services in the house. I have to replace my clutch in my 18 Kenworth. Doggone it, man. Hate to hear that. Okay, yes, like Tonu detention, etc. Mm, maybe, maybe. I don't. I have to do some thinking on that. There could be a better way to do that. Could be a better way to do that. Sorry to report, there will not be a soft landing. It's going to be a deep recession. I agree. Did that live stream a couple weeks ago. We talked about that. I said there's no soft landing. You're talking hard landing, and then like skid on your ass for a mile down the road. Um, Come on with it. Yes, it's be another unenforceable policy. Yeah, My truck has 458,900 miles. I wonder what caused my clutch to go in an automatic. Sliding tandems is hard on a clutch in an automatic. Sliding fifth wheel, backing into docks. If you're riding that friction point, um, things like that are things that are hard on a clutch in an automatic. Oh, good. My driver finally got empty. He's just been on this nightmare load for days. Oof. We got him paid though, but it's never enough. It's never enough. Um, Come on, what it says. Does the broker go to the shipper for detention and tonu, or do they eat it? They go to the shipper for it. So sometimes they'll price in, like if you have a shipper or a receiver, whatever, customer will say, that's known for detaining trucks for a while. Sometimes they'll build that into the price. So they'll say, "We price this load here, and then this extra amount. So we're building in to the load like 1 or 2 hours of detention, because we know almost every truck that's going to go there is going to get 1 or 2 hours of detention. Sometimes they'll build that in if it's a bigger company, or they think they can, and then they'll say, okay, we're gonna pay that to the carrier without even batting an eye because it's priced in, all right. And then sometimes, it was probably more so in most cases, it's in the contract. It's X amount of dollars per hour after X, amount of hours. So it's automatic. There's no questioning it. And then sometimes, a lot of times, they'll have to go to them on per instance and per occasion and say, hey, we need to get the carrier something for this. So there's there's many ways to do it. Tonu, on the other hand, that can be, no, that was just for detention. Tonu is, there's a standard Tonu rate in the master contract, usually from a shipper to a broker, but it can be debatable whose fault it was. So it's who's going to pay it. So if the it wasn't the shipper's fault, if the broker did something, well, they can't very well bill that back to the shipper. They're going to have to eat it themselves. So that's a different thing. And then one of my contracts I have with a place, it's all laid out in there. The detention, um, process for getting reimbursed for lumpers. So I don't, we don't even have to ask. And then there's a accessorial schedule of, okay, like if you're going somewhere, say there's a road closed due to natural disaster, or a bridge being out, right, and you got to take a 10-mile detour. Well, there's a standard set rate per mile for that out. It's called out of route miles, right? If you go somewhere and they refuse you and you have to make a redelivery, right? There's a standard redelivery charge. There's all kinds of little things like that. It's all laid out in there, so we don't have to even never talk about it later. Just say, I can say, all right, add on a redelivery, and they'll do it. And then there's a standard, like a layover charge, right? If for some reason they won't take it that day and you got to lay over till the next day. So all those things are pretty standard. I actually like working with that place a lot. We have very few problems, and the loads always go pretty well. So um, Alexander Winton and Associates. I want to have that guy back on to talk about tariffs. When you sign up, if you sign up for a paid membership, they create a tariff sheet for you for your company, which is really cool. Years and years and years ago, I had a tariff sheet, and I just thought it was kind of pointless. But now I kind of see the value in it, where if you ever have to go after somebody, you have a tariff sheet to go off of. So I can't show mine because of, I paid for it and they charge for that. But I'd like to get him on, and so he can talk about the value and the importance of tariffs, and kind of how they figure things, and then what they do with it. In fact, I need to know more about that process too. So hopefully we can get him to come back on here soon. Killian says, I drove a 2018 T680 with round nose miles and the clutch went out. Said it was overworked. Yeah, that's kind of some situations where the clutch gets overworked. There, the sliding tandems is hard on a clutch in an automatic. um, when you can't, get nothing to move. Dick Med says, "What's crazy? Shippers are breaking contracts here in Cali just so they can copy the rest of the shippers. Companies with more than 20 trucks here are shutting down. Sad to see." Oh man, wow. Well, some of that capacity is going to come out of the market. You would have thought with with all the trucks going down here with the new emissions rules on the trucks that would have straightened some of that out, but must have been way too many trucks. Russell Freight Services, I got 10 weeks till it's paid off. I'll just pay to have it fixed. Hell, I've replaced 98% of the truck with new parts. Hey, when it gets right down to it, ain't nothing like having a paid for truck, man. Let me tell you what, it's a game changer. Then you can start saving up. Maybe you pay cash for that next one and have a paid off truck again. It really can be a game changer. Congratulations on that, by the way. Hell yeah, I'll just eat 7,500. So I paid 8,900 plus 7,500 in 1 month. Yeah, that'll happen, man. Hey, trucking will do that to you. Definitely. I've had $50,000 months. Ugh, it's hard to swallow. Russell Freight Services looks like this year is off to a lot of write-offs for the government. Yeah, hey, there's one way to look at it, right? Um, come on, what it says, Alexander Winton. That guy's great. Yeah, they're very smart guys over there, man. They help people get their money. They are good at that. And they're not afraid to call somebody and say, "Hey, bitch, better have my money." Their pimp hand is strong. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Snorlord says, "Oh, okay, I'm here. You may now begin." Only 2 hours late, but hey, who's keeping track? Everybody, check out Snorlord's channel for a morning live stream. Definitely. Everybody saying hi to Snorlord. Michael Ayers says, "My wife and I want to thank you for your content. Your videos have taught us a lot about the industry and how to succeed. Currently running team dedicated and loving it. Thank you." Well, hey, thank you, man. Um, some might be butthurt by some of the things that I say, but hey, I try to. I think I always try to say the truth. Um, it's not always a fun thing to hear, and the truth is, right now, times are tough, and they're probably not getting any better anytime soon. In fact, probably go the other way. So, but you don't need for me to sit here and tell you that. What you need for me to sit here and do is try to provide some other solutions and encourage you to try some new things. If you don't try some new things right now, you might just find yourself by yourself, uh, crying in your beer and maybe going out of business. And that's, hey, I feel for you. Um, pick yourself up and do it again if that's what you want to do. Here's some advice I'd like to give. If you're gonna fail, fail quickly. Get it over with. Fail quickly, learn from it, get back on that horse, and ride it again with your newfound knowledge of how not to do things. Just because you fail once doesn't mean you can never try them again. And failing does not equate to failure. Everybody's failed. I've failed. Thomas Edison, you know, failed. Uh, Alexander Graham Bell failed. Everybody. They didn't try to stop trying to make the light bulb or get the telephones to work or any of this thing. You fail and then you just go back at it if that's what you want to do. And there's failing is no reason for shame or embarrassment. I mean, but it's different. Failure is different. Failure is a state of mind, really. Um, you can talk yourself into being a failure. Tell yourself you're a failure, and all you do is fail, and it ain't worth doing, and I ain't even trying. Well, yeah, then you can be a failure. You can make yourself a failure, but separate failing from failure. Right? Everybody fails, and you can even be a failure and recover from that. I kind of feel like failure is a state of mind and a place you live in your head. So the best thing I can say, people are going to fail right now. It's math, it's economics, it's just how things are. It could be me, it could be you, it could be any of us. Sometimes people fail to no fault of their own, right? Like if I had 6 engines go down tomorrow, I probably would fail. That's a big thing to overcome, right? Um, doesn't mean it's what I did, right? If tomorrow you had a freaking you're driving through Glenwood Canyon in Colorado and a boulder falls on your truck or right in the middle of your trailer and crashes through the roof and totals the load and goes through the floor, it ain't nothing you did, right? So, hey, uh, look at it that way if it helps. Takes some of the emotion out of it. And sometimes it helps, and that's what a lot of people are doing right now with the yelling about brokers on YouTube. That's pure emotion. It's pure emotion, and I understand it. Sometimes I feel similar kind of way about it, but it's like, is that what you do, or you just keep plugging away, right? I think the people that keep plugging away, um, sometimes it's going to suck. Sometimes you're going to work for 10 cents a mile in your pocket, uh, and then you get through it. And sometimes you're working for $1 a mile in your pocket. It's just kind of how the way it is. But yeah, it's perspective, keeping control of your emotions. Snorlord says, "Is this clickbait? Are you leaving us?" I don't know. I'm about to do a polar plunge, which is really stupid, and not to. They say it's not good for your heart to be shocked like that. So hey, if things don't go the right way, it could be my last live stream. But anyway, should you choose to send me to an icy demise, uh, $DIY semi on Cash App is for the Make a Wish Foundation for the kids, or any super chats. I match them. I make up the difference of what YouTube will keep, and it's all going to the Make a Wish Foundation for this Saturday. We're gonna live stream it. We'll live stream it. George Wilson says you're very knowledgeable for such a young guy. It's all you have. Trucked a double lifetime. I'm not as young as I appear. At least I feel that's the way I feel. But I appreciate that, George. I know you're an old hand, been around a long time. Uh, Retired now. Come on with it. Says if I were struggling in the spot market, I'd run as a company driver until the market came back. It insulates you from volatility, and I think a lot of people are probably doing that. I'm guessing. Another. It said life is better with a paid off truck. Gives you options. That's if your truck and equipment's paid for. That's an option you now have. It'd be hard to work as a company driver and make a $2,800 truck payment every month, wouldn't it? But she's paid for, and you feel like you got to park it because you feel like that's the right thing to do for you. You got that option, and you could always come back to it. I talked to a guy the other day, and it's like, well, why don't you just sell your truck? He's like, because the barrier to entry is too high to get back in. With the truck prices and stuff. I'm like, it's a good point. It's a very good point. Um, Snorlert says I failed to tune into this live stream on time. I have failed. You have. You're a miserable failure for today. That is 20 lashes. Killian says, thanks for your content. Always kick ass vibes. Good advice. Thank you. Well, thank you for being a part of it. And I will read your super chats from now on. I appreciate it. Should you ever leave another one. Tolga says, I moved success and unsuccess words from my life a long time ago. Everything causes just different experiences and bringing different advantages. Yeah. And some things you might see as a failure. If you look at them over a period, like in 10 years, will this make a difference? Probably not. I mean, a big thing will, a big failure can set you back a long time. Some stuff is just small stuff. Sweat the stuff you can control. And most of the stuff people are screaming about, we can't control anyway. We can't control fuel prices. Um, you can't control imports and exports and freight volumes. Um, you just can't. Snorlord says, rather than develop the skill set to succeed in a competitive environment, those with the loser mentality will complain that the game exists at all or that it is somehow rigged against them. Ooh, that's a quote from Mischler. Mischler. There you go. Snorlord. Look at the big brain on Snorlord. Look at that. Uh, my clutch is 7 years old. Okay. Uh, we have to come together to win. Good job, man. Yeah, but we gotta try. Come to. How about this? How about this? Everybody wants to come together. We're gonna get together to teach these people a lesson, or do this, or do that. What if we don't do that? What if we come together to try some new things? There's a different idea, right? Come together with some different things, some different things. But I think I got to hit the hay, everybody. It's 2 hours here, um, and I got to get to bed. We gotta go finish setting up tents and tables and all kinds of stuff for the big event Saturday, and then make sure the pool's all set up and everything. So we got to get some sleep. I sure do appreciate it, everybody. Man, you guys were really generous with the super chats. I thank you so much. Hit some big ones here, $300, a bunch of $50, and thanks everybody for the cash apps. That is certainly appreciated. And we'll maybe I'll tomorrow do a community post or something for the show you the scene there. And Saturday we will definitely live stream it just like we did last year. So everybody take care. Thanks so much, and we'll see you later.